Howdy, folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey. Friday night. Yes, I am the face who runs the place. Cheers. Salute. Here we go. All right. Trying out a couple of new things tonight. Well, I shouldn't say new platform. Just a couple of new, I don't know what you want to call them, stuff going on with the guts of everything. Let's just call it that. Some of them it's really good. Some of them it's not. And I'm trying here too. I'm figuring out what changes have been made, because there's a couple of changes on the inside of everything. Let's just call it that. And I've got to check one little thing because I could not check it until I went live, and I clicked on a button too soon than I should have. So, okay, it says it showed me live a second ago. Popcorn and Whiskey is live. Where'd it go? Oh, that's weird. Where'd it go? It must be up here. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Why didn't it post anything here? That's what I can't understand. I posted comments, and for whatever reason, it did not post on this platform. I'm going live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch tonight. I did not do Rumble. I didn't set up Rumble. So we'll see. Maybe we'll definitely do tomorrow night Rumble. But right now, let's see. New managing moderators can support your channel even more ways. Okay, close. Q&A. All right, that one's okay. It says can't post comments to some destinations. Learn more. Okay, Facebook profiles can't post there. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I knew that already. Okay, all right. We are live on other platforms. Okay, fantastic. I take it off of there. I put it over here. Good evening, everybody. All right. So I've been really thinking about a few things lately about the direction of popcorn and whiskey. Direction of a lot of things, and the top fitness strategies which I have, the popcorn and whiskey. Oh, by the way, see that right over here? It says you can buy me a drink or a cup of coffee. Go to andrewpaletto.com/drink. Buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me a drink. Go over there and you'll understand. I'll tell you what. I will post it here. Let's see. Buy me a drink. www.andrewpaletto.com drink. Post it on here. Then if you so choose to, buy me a little beverage so help supports the show. That's what it does. And if you can find it in yourself to do so, support the show. I really appreciate it. If you find any kind of entertainment to value of this, hey, there you go. There's the I put it up there, the link. And if you can, great, fantastic. All right, so a couple of new things. Like I said, the direction that I'm planning on going, what I'm thinking of doing. I'll talk about that in a second. Is since I do some unconventional stuff on here. One, I drink and I eat on the microphone. A lot of people find that, ew, it's disgusting, it's gross. Well, get over it. Get over it. Get over it. It's my show. Holy moly. You would think because I'm so twisted with my words this evening, I've been drinking quite a bit. But no, that's the first sip I took for the last 3 days was right there. So I have nothing in my system to say that I should be slurring everything. But since I am doing non-conventional stuff, one, drinking, well, you're not supposed to drink with a microphone on. Two, eating my popcorn, you're not supposed to do it with the microphone on. No. Also, most people prepare for the show. If you follow me at all, you know I don't do that very often. Occasionally I do, which is fine. But so those are 3 cardinal rules you should never break when you do live streaming and or podcasting. 1, you should always know what you want to talk about. 2, you should never drink. Or 3, you should never eat while into the microphone, at least. So because I do all 3 of them, and I do it consistently, and I do it well, I think my tagline is going to be something to the sort and this is and I say tagline because this is the direction I'm going to be taking, or I'm planning on taking Popcorn and Whiskey, is Popcorn and Whiskey, breaking the rules of live streaming and podcasting. Might just do that, breaking all the rules. I don't want to say all the rules, but breaking the rules of podcasting. I don't know if I don't like it. It doesn't. It's not snappy enough for me. Breaking the rules. So I got to figure that out. So I got to brainstorm about that a little bit. And I tell you what, brainstorming is good when you have more people than one doing it. Because with my top fitness strategies, I have a program I put together, and I'm going to be releasing it soon. I'm actually going to be doing it live, invitation only, and I'm also using it as a fundraiser. And up until recently, and I didn't like this title, but this was the working title. They call it the 4 Pillars of Fitness, the 4 Pillars of Health and Fitness. But a friend of mine and I brainstormed for several days about how to change that. And we had a big chalkboard, matter of fact, not a whiteboard, but a chalkboard. And we were just throwing up ideas on the chalkboard, writing them. And her and I were going to town with it. And it was a ball. We had a good time doing it. And little by little, we added stuff to the brainstorming. We took stuff away. Okay, this sounds great. This doesn't sound good. This works. This works. This works. This doesn't. This doesn't. This doesn't. And we was putting the different pieces together. It was. I wish we would have recorded the whole thing because it was quite unique at how we did it. Maybe that's how a brainstorming session has worked for you in the past. I've never had it done this way before. I had myself. I've done brainstorming, but not in a unique atmosphere like I had with this young lady, a friend of mine, that we were doing it. And from all that, we came up with the term the MENT program. Not the mint, but the MENT, MENT. And I'll explain everything later on, but I think it's brilliant how we came up with it and what it stands for and why it stands for it and how it's going to all intertwine. And it was, I can't, I wish I would have had a videotaping the whole thing because it was just so unique at how it all came together and how it all gelled. It was a good 3-4 day process. Yeah, about an hour a day. And so next week, my plan is to have another person jumping in, and we're going to start working on how to present the program. I mean, in my mind, I can sit here and present it like this all day long, not a problem. As you know, I can talk on this microphone without issue at all. But I need to put it in some sort of order, organizational type order, which in my mind it is, but on paper it's not. And I think it needs to be more on paper. So when I do present this as a product, if you will, as a fundraiser, that I'm not bouncing all over the place, even though that would be fine because yes, I can make it work. Why? Because I'm just that damn good. I can make it work, but I think it needs to have a little bit of organization, not a whole lot, just a little bit of organization. And once that happens, Katie bar the door at that point. So all that being said, I am extremely comfortable on this side of the microphone. At least I feel like I am. I think I present a pretty good, entertaining show, and I do know what I'm talking about to an extent, more than most people, put it that way. Now, does that mean I know everything about this thing? Absolutely not. For instance, if this was podcasting and live streaming, like if you look at my screen, see how it's square. If this is a whole what live streaming or podcasting is, I'm a little speck right there. That's my knowledge in it. Okay, just keep that in mind. So, that being said, I have recently released, and it was me being interviewed by somebody of how to be a good guest on a podcast or a live stream, more or less a podcast, how to be a good guest. And from that, when I broadcasted that, or when I promoted that, the interview that somebody did with me, his name was Teresa Akers, a fantastic interviewer. We had a ball. when I posted that on a couple of podcast pages that I'm on, just so people could hopefully listen to it or watch it and get some ideas for themselves. I was getting bombarded with people. Oh, you know how to be a good guest? Talk about what you know. First of all, duh, but there's so much more to that. It's like saying, you know how to drive a car? Turn the key on and hit the gas. Well, no, there's a little bit more to that than to drive a car, right? All right. So, same thing with podcasting, same thing with live streaming, same thing at the job you do, whatever it is. For instance, if you're a school teacher, there's more than just getting in front of the class and talking about a subject. There's a lot more to it than that. If that's all you think it is, it's just like saying, to be a mechanic, you need to learn how to turn a wrench. No, a little bit more than that. So that was something I came up with, and I'm doing that, and we'll see what comes up with that. Okay, and also the future of this show probably will be during the week as well. And if I do it during the week, I don't know if I'll be drinking or not during the week. Not that I can't. I'm an old man. I can. I gotta stop saying that because somebody else did point out the other day, because you're not an old man. I said, well, I know a lot of people disagree with that one. And this chair went down on me. There's a joke right there, ready to go. Okay. There we go, a little bit. Get a little taller here. Okay. Yes, I did grow some hair. See that? Don't believe me? Here, I'll show it to you. See the hair I grew right there? I grew some hair. So there you go. You can't say I'm lying to you. I grew some hair. Man, oh man, have we had one heck of a week. Yeah, I'm going to put the popcorn closer. Where do I start? And also, I think, like I said, tonight I'm just brainstorming because I didn't come up here with a plan. I was watching wrestling. Before I go any further. Before I go any further, speaking of wrestling, next week from tonight, I will be live. I will be doing a prediction show for WrestleMania that weekend. Keep that in mind. I may have some guests on here. I was asked to be on another show, but they're recording during the day. So I will not be able to be part of that, but they might come on here with me on my show. They're actually a wrestling show. I'm not, but I do talk about wrestling. But next week we have WrestleMania, Saturday and Sunday. I kind of wish, because it's Easter weekend, I kind of wish they would do it Friday and Saturday night instead of Saturday and Sunday. Because if you do a Sunday night, then they have work the next day. A lot of people go to work. It's just a pain. But they're smartening up. Most of their pay-per-views now, they're calling them premium live events. PLEs. Yeah, premium live events. They're doing them on Saturday night now, which 20 years ago, I was saying they should do it on Saturday night. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. But anyway, next weekend, Friday night, I will be live on here. Saturday night, I probably won't be. I will be in the other room with the big screen and the surround sound watching WrestleMania. It's going to be awesome. I got 4 words for you. In Punk, we trust. There you go. In Punk, we trust. I got 4 words for you. That's all I'll say for right now. And I'll tell you about my prediction next week. Yes, I am a CM Punk fan. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to bother getting into it right now because it's going to be a whole show next week. It's going to be fun. So, also this week, boy, did we have a ride with the stock market. Yes, I know a lot of people are talking about it. I'm not going to get into the if, ands, whats, whys, who's, where's, when's, whatever. Bottom line is, if you didn't buy, you didn't sell, so what? So what? Really? Unless you sold and got panic and sold and you screwed yourself, so what? I am not going to give you stock advice. I'm not here to give you stock advice. The stock market rises and falls, up and down, sideways, whatever. Every damn day. Every day it's open. So don't be bitching about one day if it goes down or the next day when it goes up. Don't be bitching about it. If you're a day trader, again, you're not going to take any advice from me. And if you're not a day trader, don't take any advice from me. I'm not a stock market guru. I'm just saying that unless you sold, quit your bitching. If you sold, then you're the idiot. All right. A lot of people bought. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm excited for the future. Absolutely. Do I agree with everything that's going on? For the most part, I think I do. Yes, and to get into politics a little bit here, sorry for my friends that don't agree with me, but yes, I am 100% MAGA, true MAGA right here. So I want to see America first on everything. I live here. Just as my Canadian friends, I hope they say they want Canada to be first. Just as my Italian friends, I hope they say they want Italy to be first, and so on and so forth. I would hope you would believe your country should come first before other countries do. Call me selfish. Hey, whatever. That's just my beliefs. Marty, hell yeah, absolutely. Just like I want my household to be first in my life before I worry about somebody else's household. No offense to anybody out there, but I hope everyone feels the same way. The last thing I want is somebody to take care of my family before they take care of theirs. First of all, that would be wrong. Second of all, I would feel so bad if that happened. And thirdly, if I'm in a position where I can't take care of my family, I'm the one doing something wrong. Just that simple. There are so many opportunities out there. There's so many ways to develop a lifestyle, so many ways to generate income. Is it going to be always the way you want to do it? No, not at all. I was talking to somebody today, a young lady, and her partner. Let's see here. I just got a comment. Rhett, how you doing, buddy? I think they should raise the tariffs higher on China to get their leader to table and talk, so we can move this past. We can move this past this because Trump about the trade war, and I love it. I absolutely love it as well. It's not a trade war. I hate it. I hate that term. It is, and I understand why people call it that. I get it, because that's what the media started calling it. So everybody's jumping on board. It's not a trade war. We're not at war with any trades. We're just tariffing the trade. So it's not a war. Keep that in mind. I understand the commonality with the terms. I understand that. And so, but you won't hear me say it's a trade war because I don't believe it is. Isaiah, hey, I will keep preaching, buddy. I appreciate you being here. And now I forgot my train of thought, for crying out loud. I was saying that talking about stock market, talking about your own house. Oh yeah, I was talking to a youngster today. We'll call it that. And this youngster's, when I say youngster, so it's younger than I am, which are most people on this planet nowadays, as Marty knows as well. Most people on the planet are younger than us. You know, I heard a stat today, Marty, if you're still listening, and I don't know if you posted this or who posted this. They said the average lifestyle of a male, the average life expectancy, not the average lifestyle, the average life expectancy of a male is 76 years. So that means when you're 38 years old, guess what? That's middle age. 50 isn't middle age. 38 is middle age. I have a nephew who's right at that age, so I gotta start calling him an old man. Ha ha ha. But anyway, so this person this youngster was saying that their partner has a job, has a 40-hour a week job, but they told me and I'm not going to mention any names or any prices or wages because first of all, it's none of my business. So it's none of my business to promote it or to spew it. Okay, but this person is young enough, and this person has the capability of going out and earning more than what this person is currently earning. I can think of 3 different places this person can go, and right away, if you're looking on an hourly wage, right away they can increase their hourly wage by $7 an hour. Now, for somebody making $1 million a year, $7 an hour ain't that much. But for somebody, let's say lower than 25 years old in the area I live in, you add an extra $7 an hour to what you're currently making. That's pretty damn good money. All right, that's pretty good money, especially around nowadays. And they weren't making some change to begin with, so that's going to put them up easily in the upper medium income level of in this area, just by going to a job where it's hiring like that. Anybody with any kind of experience can walk in tomorrow and boop, get it like that. Marty, I have front row seats to 20 or 30 trains per day going from Chicago to Florida, and the southern flow of lumber from the north has stopped completely. Tonight I saw a rack car of lumber going through. Win-win. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if I can understand this. 20 to 30 trains per day going from Chicago to Florida. Okay, so it's going from north to south. And the southern flow of lumber from the north has stopped completely. Tonight I saw a rack car of lumber going north. Win-win. Okay, Marty, you got to explain this one to me because I'm missing something here. What am I missing? And Red will be 31 in June. Red, you're a young kid. I'm assuming, Marty, what you're saying is we're not buying lumber from Canada anymore. Is that what you're referring to? Okay, we were bringing the lumber from Canada, and that has stopped. So, is that a good thing that it has stopped? Is it a good thing? And I'm not against it. I mean, I think, honestly, when it comes to Canada, United States, there should be zero tariffs. Zero, across the board, zero. Or at least reciprocal. If it's 25%, both sides. But I think there should be zero between Canada and there. Do we have lumber in the United States? Oh, absolutely we do. Can we find lumber? Absolutely we can. Do we use it? I don't think so. But those who are watching, listening, my buddy Marty, I'm not going to mention any last names, Marty, and he knows his stuff inside and out when it comes to this. And when he says he sees 20 or 30 trains per day, that's probably an understatement. I know where his office is, and I know what he sees. He sees trains quite a bit. Yeah, Marty says we have millions of acres of timber available. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Especially if you get up into the Northeast, from the Northwest, and also up in Alaska. Holy moly, we have a lot. And just think when we get Greenland. And for those who are bitching about it, no, we're not going to invade Greenland. No one said it. Is it Greenland or Greenland? I don't know if it's Greenland or Greenland. I don't know which one it is. We're not going to invade it. We're not going to force take over. No, it's just a strategic military operation. Strategically speaking, a military for us to be stationed up in Greenland would be great. And if Greenland wants to become a U.S. territory, why not? It'd be great. I've always wanted to go to Greenland. I think it'd be cool to go to Greenland. I don't even know what they speak up there, what language they speak, but I think that'd be great. And I think Greenland has a population of what, Terre Haute? Around here, if you're in Indiana watching me here in a nearby city, Terre Haute, 40,000, something like that. I think that's what it is. 50,000. I know it's a small U.S. city, put it that way, the whole population of Greenland. And from everything I'm reading, everything I'm hearing, the population of Greenland would love to be a U.S. territory or under, I don't want to say U.S. territory rule, but governed by U.S. and be part of the U.S. in some way, shape, or form. Not a state, but a U.S. territory. Marty, poor timber management by the government allows thousands of acres per year to burn. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You have to manage a forest. Absolutely. We saw that in California. Crying out loud. All because they wanted to save a little fish. Really? Really? They had all their land drying because somebody out there, some tree hugger wanted to save a fish. And there's fish everywhere. What is it called? A smelt? I don't even know if that was called a smelt. I don't know. Yeah, and it's like Puerto Rico. Greenland can become a U.S. territory like Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Right? Yeah. So it just baffles me. Well, it doesn't baffle me because if President Trump's name is associated to it, the Democrats, regardless of what it is, are not going to like it. Regardless, he can say that the sky is blue, and Democrats will say no, it's not. He's lying. It's not blue. It's never been blue. So yeah. So that's basically what it boils down to. There is no common sense on the left. Sorry, folks, if you're out there watching, if you're on the left, you guys don't have any common sense. If you think you do, I would love for you to come on here and talk about it. Let's debate this in a friendly manner. Well, let's debate this and tell me where you think your common sense, what you think is common sense, is better than what I know to be common sense. I would love to do this with you. Again, no fighting, no yelling back and forth. Just have a friendly debate. That's it. Then afterwards, guess what? Cheers, my friend. Now, some people, when they debate, they use colorful words. Will I be one of those people? I don't know. But I guarantee I got somebody listening right now who likes to use colorful words in his everyday language. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to be in the conversation. But the older you get, if you're still squeamish and don't like that kind of language, well, guess what? Chances are you're not going to be around the kind of people who use that language. And the people who do use that language have the sense enough to know when not to use it. For instance, I don't like to hear people use profanity around my mother. And I just don't like it. I will say something. Now, my mother's friends can use that kind of language in front of my mother. Why? Because they're her friends. But my friends, absolutely not. No way. I will put a stop to it real quick if you start using profanity around my mother. Yes, we do slip up. I get it. But if you're a younger kid, a student, in school somewhere, you better not use profanity around my mother. Period. End of story. But that's pet peeve of mine. We'll get off of that subject real quick here. Okay, so we talked about next week. Talked a little bit about the tariffs, the stock market. Talked about the upcoming thing. So instead of, I'm going to go back to this again. What I'm going to determine this as. Marty, the best route for kids today is into the trades, pipe fitters, electricians, welders, the unions. I'm telling you what, in my classes, and those who don't know this, I do teach at a high school. I teach a specific program, and I can get into it, but we have guest speakers coming in. And in the last month, we've had, anywhere from police officers to college recruiters to union workers to factory workers. Is a factory worker the most glamorous job? Absolutely not. Is a union worker the most glamorous job? No. Are they tough? Yeah. Can you make good money with them? Oh, yeah. I found out some stuff about unions that I did not know, how they get paid and the money that can be done with unions. A lot of good money there. If you're a young person watching this or listening to me, and you're in your 20s or 30s, and you still don't know what you want to do with your life, and you haven't gone to the military, or if you're out of the military, or because I think the military is a great way to go, but look at the union workers, whether it be iron workers, laborers, plumbers, steam fitters, what have you. Look into that. Look into factory work. Again, not the most glamorous, but at your age, you don't need glamour. At my age, I definitely don't need glamour, but I also don't want to do backbreaking work anymore. I've done that, been there, done that in my time. Don't want to do it again. Nothing wrong with it. Just don't want to put my body through it. If I was 20 years old and I can go back and do it again, one, I always said I'd go back and I'd probably join the military. Or two, definitely get a trade, a skill trade of some sort. Do I have the mind for it? I could learn. I don't think I have that kind of mechanical ability with my mind, but I can learn. But hey, when you're young, man, use your body up, man. I'm telling you, use your body up. Earn that as much as you can while you're young, because once you turn that 40 years old, 45 years old, if you get a job right out of college at the unions or a factory or the military, by the time you're 40, 45 years old, you can retire. Maybe you don't want to, but you can retire. Believe me, and Marty and I will both say this, we're both old men at this point. If we could have retired at 40 years old, 45 years old, I will promise you both of us would have done it. I promise you I would have done it for certain. I shouldn't speak for Marty. I would say 90%. I bet he would have. But he also owns a business, so hard telling about that. But for me, if I could have retired at 40, 45, bet your ass I would have done it. And I look back now, shoot. Marty, exactly. So I guess that's right. So think about it. You're retired at 45. Dude, you got so much life to live in front of you. And if you bring home whatever it is from your retirement, you can start something else if you want to. You can get a part-time job somewhere. You don't have to do the back-breaking stuff anymore. Holy moly. And I several of my classmates went to the military and retired after 25 years. Yeah, if you're 18 right now, let's say you're 20 years old, and think 45 years is a long way away, it might be. But it'll be here before you know it. So Zane, if you're currently, Zay, if you're currently here watching, dude, I'm telling you, Rhett, I think you're in the military, at least you were. If you're still in the military, dude, stick with it. You may not like it all, but stick with it. You'll be 31 years old now. Dude, you don't know how good you will have it. You stick with one job right now. It's going to produce and start stocking away. Put money away in an investment. 401k, retirement, anything that's going to draw an interest. I would stay away from a savings account or checking account, and do not put it buried in a coffee can in the backyard. Put it in some sort of interest bearing account somewhere. And then don't even put that part of your budget. And by the time you're 45 years old, you'll thank me. You'll thank me and you'll thank Marty. And if we're both still around, you come over here and you buy us a drink. How's that? Okay. If either one of us is still around at that point. If not, toast one to us and say, I remember that crazy dude. I listened to that thing called a podcast or a live stream that one time. He told me this. I don't even remember his name, but I want to raise a drink to him. So there you go. So that's it. What else was I going to talk about? Not for certain. I can get on the, oh, this is interesting. Saw this earlier. No, I'm not going to get into that. Because it might, no. We'll say that for another time. Had to be about women and dating and stuff like that. I would do that another time when I'm more in the mood to it. When I'm more in the mood to do it. So, I'll tell you right now, gosh darn it, my mind's a blank right now. But anyway, help me out. Think about this live streaming and podcasting, popcorn and whiskey, breaking all the rules of live streaming and podcasting. Breaking the rules of podcasting. I want that kind of concept, but I need a different tagline. I want something a little more catchy, breaking the rules of podcasting. It's something of that sort. So we'll have to brainstorm on that one. Okay. So what else? Let me think here. Oh yeah. And I'm sure I'll post this later. There is a place in Terre Haute, if you're listening locally here, called Outdoor something. They're on the south end of Terre Haute. I brought my lawnmower in there to get serviced. First time I ever done this, went on a recommendation of a friend of mine who does it every year. Those sons of bitches lied to me, not once, not twice, not 3 times. No, 3 times. I 3 or 4 times. All right, they lied to me. Now, you say, "Oh, Andrew, why'd you keep going back if they lied to you?" Well, because they had my mower at the time. And my thing is, if while they had my property in their possession, if I started bitching and moaning and complaining, who knows? Complete outdoor, that's probably it, Marty. Yeah. If I started bitching and moaning while they had it in there, who knows what kind of shape I'd give it back in. Now, I got it back today. I did cut grass with it, and yes, the mower seems to be better. I give it that much. But there are certain things that they claim they did that I know they didn't. Why? Because before I took it into them, I looked at it. I was going to clean it up, blow out the dust and the dirt and everything else around different nooks and crevices and crannies. And I said, no, because this is going to be my test to see if they actually look at this part of it like they're supposed to do. They didn't. I got it back today, and I looked at the specific portions of the mower. It wasn't touched, even though on the thing it says it was touched. On the invoice, it said they worked on this. How they possibly could look at it or work at it without messing up some of the dirt and dust with their hands? Impossible. It couldn't, and definitely wasn't cleaned out. So I don't know what they did, but I'm not happy. I think they, from how I was treated, I got screwed royally. But I give credit where credit is due. I cut grass today, and it was freezing. I cut grass. The mower seems to be better than it was. And my bitch is not that it's better than it was. My bitch is they didn't seem to do everything on the invoice that they said they did. And at this point, it's my word against theirs. So they're just not going to get my business anymore. It's just that simple. If you're going to do something, do it. If you're not, don't. That's fine if you don't, but don't tell me you did. That just pisses me off. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Or didn't do it. Don't tell me it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks, and instead it takes over 2 months. Or right at 2 months, I should say. Not over. Right at 2 months. So don't get me started at that one. So I'm just not happy with them. Yep. I got off that high horse because it's irrelevant at this point. Got the mower back. And if I didn't get it adjusted, if you will, look at it that way, I would have probably had to buy a new mower, but at least I saved from having to buy a new mower. Because the mower I have rides like a dream. Cutting wise, not the best, but I do believe it is better now. So they did do something to it. Oh, another thing. They told me that they couldn't straighten the blade or sharpen the blade because it was crooked. The blades that are on there, they're brand new blades. I got them at the end of last year. So they showed to me, and one of them's a little bit off compared to the other two. So I had some older blades, and I brought them in. And one of the blades, one set of blades, they said they can't do anything because there's not enough metal on it, which was BS. But the other one, they said whoever sharpened it last did it wrong, which is BS. Because my brother-in-law and I did it, and so I know how to sharpen blades, and so does he. So that was BS. But say No extra charge. They took one of the set of blades and sharpened it and put them on there. And what I did is the blades that they say were crooked, I brought them over to the welding shop at the high school I teach at. And I asked the welding shop teacher if he sharpens blades. He says, yeah, he does it all the times for people. So I said, how about straightening them? He looks at the blade. He goes, yeah, I can straighten this. And so next day he got it. It was straightened. I asked him what he did. He says he put on a vise and got a BFH and hit it a couple times so straightened out. I said, BFH? He goes, yeah, big fucking hammer. That's what he said. Big fucking hammer. Straightened it out. And then the other set of blades, which the other place that it couldn't be sharpened, I looked at him and I said, can these be sharpened? He goes, well, of course. Why? I told him the story and he just rolled his eyes. He said, give it to me. So he sharpened them and they're razor sharp, baby. Both these razors, I mean, all these blades are razor sharp now. So it's good. So I'm looking forward to putting them all on. So we'll see how it goes. So grass cutting time. And took me today in the cold about 2.5 hours to cut all my grass. And I didn't get close to some of the water I have because it's been raining. So I just I'll let it grow for a while. And also, if anybody out here knows of a good excavator, I don't know if excavator is the right word, but I need to dig out some of my pond. So I'll reach in there with a backhoe or something and scoop out some of the dirt in the pond, different places. You can reach it probably from the bank. At the most I need to go out is probably 20 feet because it's a long, narrow pond. The most is maybe 20 feet, 25 at the absolute most. And that's debatable at that point. So what do I have here? Okay, nothing on there. Okay. So at this point, I think I'm done for the night, and here's why. this is silly, but I think I'm done tonight. I'm in the middle of the series Better Call Saul. And I'm dead tired right now. I'll fall asleep here soon. And I'm in the middle of an episode, so I want to finish the episode before I go to bed. Sorry, but that's what it is. Tomorrow night we're going to have some fun on here. I might even have some stories to tell. I will definitely have an agenda to go. Now, the only way I won't be on is if I have a different offer. And me being a single guy, I'll let you figure out what that means. All right? What you think it means. So, and so that's it for now. Okay? I'll stop it here. But remember, help me out with this. Popcorn and whiskey. I'm breaking all the rules of podcasting. Think of a different way I can phrase that, and then we'll go from there. Okay? So I'm going to stop it here. My name is Andrew. I'm the face who runs the place. Popcorn and whiskey. Until next time. Ciao.